I reside in one of the largest cities in Ontario, Canada, in a small subdivision with 5 neighbors. As someone who has been living in this area for a few years, I have always made it a point to be of help to my neighbors, especially during the winter season. Every time we have heavy snowfall or a bad storm, I make sure to put my wife's windshield wipers up on her car before leaving for my overnight shift. After doing so, I take a quick walk around the street, checking if my other neighbors' cars have their wipers up as well. This act has become somewhat of a tradition in our neighborhood, as many of my neighbors forget to do this themselves, and it would be difficult for them to clear the snow from their cars in the morning when their wipers are frozen in place. Whenever I do this, my neighbors are always grateful and thank me for being so thoughtful. Some of them even started following my lead, and there were instances when I forgot to do it myself, only to find out that one of my neighbors has done it for me. However, things took a different turn when a new family moved into the neighborhood. It was a young couple with 2 kids, and they moved in last week. The other night, I was leaving for my overnight shift, and it was snowing heavily, with a forecast of almost 30 centimeters of snow. I put my wife's wipers up and proceeded with my usual routine, which includes walking around to check on my neighbors' cars. As I approached the new neighbor's truck, I hesitated for a moment as I had only introduced myself to them once. Still, I went ahead and put the wipers up. To my surprise, the husband came charging out of his front door, shouting at me, asking what I was doing to his truck. I tried to explain that I was just trying to help, but he continued to scream at me, telling me to get off his property and never touch his truck again. The wife also joined in, shouting at me. I apologized and started walking away, with some of my other neighbors coming out to see what was happening. They tried to explain the situation to the new couple, but they were not having any of it. Fast forward to the next morning, I arrived home from my shift and saw the wife of the new couple outside, struggling to break the ice off the windshield wipers of their truck. It appeared that she was trying to take her kids to school, but the wipers were frozen solid on the car. She called out to me, asking for my help. However, I responded by saying, "No, sorry. Thought I was never to touch your S*** again, ma'am," and walked back inside. She called me out, saying, "Wow. I told my wife about the incident, and she thought that I should have helped the new neighbor, especially since she was only trying to take her kids to school. However, I disagreed and thought that I was only following what they told me to do. It was disappointing that the new neighbors did not understand the tradition that we had in our neighborhood, but I knew that I had done my part in being a good neighbor and would continue to do so for the rest of my time in this community." What was your reaction to this story? Comment below about what type of drama you'd like to see next.